Now it is official. We are being memorialized forever.
Right?
Hooray! We've been doing this for a year. Not used to it yet.
And like the way
Has
you
it?
said
It's
it.
been that long, hasn't it? Wow.
It's been over a year, yeah.
Mhm. Just don't
Wow.
like the sound of
Okay.
being memorialized forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's
People a
already
100
too
years down
late.
the line will still know what your voice sounds like, Ness.
Yeah.
Oh joy.
So wonder, suppose like when we grow up, we become somebody important, and then somebody finds this, and now we're just maybe a politician or something. I don't know.
That would make
But
me so
somebody finds
happy.
this.
I'm
You
not
think
even
so?
joking. If I was like some big shot someday and then someone was like, oh, hey, weren't you the person that did those like TBHK podcasts? I'll be like, oh my gosh, that would be the best. I would love that. All right, we got
But
another
yeah.
minute. Still waiting for people to come in. Just almost there, almost there.
Mm-hmm.
9 o'clock. Kind of wanted it to be a bit later, but alas, this is what worked. I am
Wait, I could have
sorry,
made
SN.
I could have made a podcast later.
No, I couldn't have.
Wait. Oh, you couldn't have. Okay.
I just wanted it to be, but I couldn't. I
Well, I tried it
apologize
today
to
or
the
Monday,
poor Asians
to
who
be
are
honest.
completely asleep right now.
Mhm.
So either today or Monday. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right. 9 o'clock. Uh, how many people do we have here?
8.
8.
Good enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get started. Just a quick repeat. Jump over to general discussion to join the chat if you want to chat away while we are talking. If you want to, shoot a message to us, that's the easiest way to do it because we're going to be watching the chat while this is going on. And we're here to talk about the latest chapter, which, yeah, the latest chapter.
Yeah, that.
It's yeah. Opinions though. How many did you guys like this chapter?
I liked
I just
it.
Even
thought it was an alright chapter. I
I
don't
liked it after the fact, after the flames settled down, and I had
Mhm.
a chance to like read it without thinking about how everyone was going to react to it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I
Like
liked it.
I didn't have any strong feelings towards it. It was a very okay chapter to me, which is
Mhm.
not a popular opinion, but
Yeah.
It
Maybe
is
it is.
it is rare to get like lackluster chapters, but I think a lot of people did kind of feel that this one was a bit lackluster. And that primarily had to do with the ship that this chapter was about. That
if you don't like this
Yeah.
ship, you probably didn't like this chapter.
Mhm.
apparently this is a
Not to
much more
mention,
disliked ship than I thought it
Yeah,
was.
I
same.
knew it was controversial, but oh my goodness, people are mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Also, the most interesting thing about this chapter took up like 2 panels,
I know,
but
right? I
we'll
think
get to that.
people missed it. Like people missed it.
People
They
missed it.
jumped over
People
it.
totally did.
They ran to like right to the end and they saw the end and they were like, I don't like this. It sucks. And then they were
This
gone.
chapter,
Nobody was
yeah.
talking about it.
I'm
Nobody
like,
was talking.
wait, backtrack. Something like huge just got dropped in this
Yeah,
chapter.
like
Why aren't we talking about it? Like, but we will talk about it. We will reach that point.
mhm.
Uh-huh. So,
Before we reach that point, though, as far as this whole controversy goes with Samaria number 6, we'll cover this right now, right at the beginning, so we can move past it and we don't have to talk about it again. But there has been flames in response to Samaria and number 6 as a ship, and you know what? You might like Samaria number 6 as a ship, and you might not like it. And you might think their relationship in the context of the show is okay, and you might not. And you know what? We can argue. Within the canon of the show, it might be okay. Like, we can talk about that you like can't put an age to number 6, or like that he didn't technically raise her because she was the one doing all the work, or if you're gonna talk about her age, she is actually over 100 years herself. But whether you believe it's okay or not isn't the issue. The problem is that people are attacking Ida Iro for writing a ship that they have decided is not okay. So let's just make this clear. Including a certain type of relationship in your fictional work or enjoying it does not mean that you endorse that kind of relationship in real life. People know how to differentiate between fiction and reality, and fiction exists to be a safe place to explore those ideas. Relationships in fiction, they don't have to be healthy, they don't have to be exemplary, they don't need to say anything deep or profound, they just need to be interesting. And no one is a bad person for writing that, and no one is a bad person for enjoying it. You don't have to like this ship, but here, in the context of this podcast, on our channel, we are going to respect everyone's right to enjoy fiction, and we are not going to bash Ida Iro for writing this ship. Okay, are we clear?
Pretty clear to me.
Okay. Now
And
we've got
with
that out of the
that-
way. We don't have to talk about it ever again, and we can jump into the chapter.
Yeah, let's go. Let us go. So, we've got some artwork here. I honestly am ashamed to admit this, I thought this was Hanako and Sakura. But I'm like, wait, hold on. Something's not right here.
How do you mix that up? The seal on the cheek is
It's
like
a
pretty
Kasa-
blatant.
It's a Kasa and Sakura, yes. But
Fascinating
Yeah,
that
it
they
gets into
picked
each
that
other.
picture to lead with, even though it's, it's not a Sakura Tsukasa chapter.
Sakura was
It's a
gonna be the
Sumire
highlight.
chapter.
Sakura
They
was
knew
the highlight of the
Sakura
chapter.
was gonna be the
Yeah, that's-
highlight, yeah.
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
really is the highlight, even though she's like only mentioned for two
Also-
panels, but
Also, the chapter opens with a Sakura tree.
oh, it does.
Mhm.
Look. It's in black and white. I didn't think about it. It's not my fault, I swear. And the title of this chapter is Dawn. Any thoughts about that?
I'm more interested in the part 1 part.
Part 1 is also
Yeah,
important.
That's the more
It's true.
interesting part to me.
That's true.
Dawn, isn't that his name?
I think so. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It was between Twilight and Dawn, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
I thought so.
But yeah, the chapter. So we have number 6 here, badly injured from, as you guys know. He was kind of stabbed by Natsuhiko.
No. He was stabbed by Ko, and then lightning rodded, and then Natsuhiko kicked him to the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Don't take anything away from Ko.
Yeah, that was Ko's moment to shine. Natsuhiko just showed up
Yes.
at the end.
Yeah, true. So, yes, Ko is the one who did this damage. My bad. And Sumeri, number 6 wakes up and the first person he lays his eyes on is Sumeri.
And he freaks the hell out.
He does.
Oh my god.
No, all this does to me is tell me that he never knew that she was his Yorishiro. Like, this is probably the first time he's seeing her in 100 years. Or more.
Yeah, it really does confirm that he
Yeah,
had
he's
no idea
shocked.
she was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's has been my theory for the longest while, and I'm glad that it's confirmed.
Yeah, it was kind of like almost confirmed before, just through his flashback with Samiri, but this is definite. This is like, he did not know she was there.
So Sumeri, being, I don't know, as sadistic as she is, she ties him up. And
Okay, look, he deserved this.
he does.
He earned this.
Yeah.
He does. I mean, it says this man has left his wife for over 100 years. So,
He did.
Probably deserves more than this, to be honest. But whatever. And she ponders what to do with him. She knows she's thought about it for like hundreds of years. What am I going to do when I meet this guy again? How am I going to treat him? What am I going to say? But as soon as she sees his face, she doesn't know what to say, or she can't remember anything.
I really feel the
And-
parallels with Nene right now. Because it was kind of a similar thing, right? Like, there were a million things she wanted to say to Hanako when she met him again, but when it came down to it, like, they were just really happy to be together again.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, there's always been a lot of parallels between Samiri and number 6
Oh,
and
yeah.
Hanako and Nene, but like, this was another moment that drove that home. That it's intentional.
Yeah. And So the important part of this chapter now is that she tells number six that she has met the person that he works for. Now, this has come as a shock to me, right? When I saw Sakura as the next person that they point to. So she says she's incredibly beautiful, and she's the one who assigned you guys to be the mysteries, right? And she also says that Sakura told her that it's no longer necessary to have the seven mysteries around because there's no need to protect the mortal realm and to keep the seven seats. So she'll just want to return everything back to how it once was.
Okay, so yeah, this was the huge bomb drop in this chapter, and I don't think everyone has processed just how much of a bomb drop this was. And I do want to talk about how it was translated, because it was translated a little bit differently, and the wording for something this big, the wording means a lot. So in the DBS scans, it goes, she said the seven mysteries were no longer necessary, that there was no need to protect the mortal realm or keep the seven seats. She said she'll return everything to how it once was. And Ropes of Fate, if I can find it, I have it up. Just give me a second. We'll do it this way. Here it is. In Ropes of Fate, I don't. That girl said this. I don't need the seven mysteries any longer, neither do I have reason to protect the living world, since the seven seats will be returned to their original form. That feels quite different. Is that just me?
Wow.
Definitely
Yeah.
different.
It feels much different.
It feels very different. One of them
I mean,
hints at
mhm.
Sakura being the god literally responsible for the seven wonders. The other one just states it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line here. Like, we have just gotten a bomb dropped that Sakura is the god that Hanako has been talking about, the one that assigned him his job, the one who's responsible for this, which is like mind boggling. I went back to the last chapter to reread it so we could to like read over Sakura's wish and whatnot. And I paused on the part where she's talking about how, the living, the dead, and the supernaturals will all disappear, and how that doesn't relate to her at all. Her being God explains that perfectly. Like, her being a god is the only way that like the living, the dead, and the supernaturals being gone wouldn't affect her. And it also
True.
implies that she, as a god, is trapped in the school. So, like, is she physically trapped? Is she trapped by her duty? Like,
Really
also,
strange. Yeah.
is Tsukasa granting the wish of a god? Literally? Like, oh my
Yeah. I'm
gosh.
so
Yeah, if
confused.
she's a god, what does that
And
mean
also, that
Tsukasa?
has to mean she was lying when she told Nene that they're in the same position, right? There's no way.
Yeah, Kathy.
Don't call my name.
You remember that video we made about Sakura?
Um, anyways.
Oh, oh, oh.
Wow.
Listen, at the time I had good points, but they kind of don't hold up to all this.
They were solid points at the time when there was no evidence to argue against it. I will give you that.
Yeah, but it's kind of shocking,
It
to
is
be honest,
shocking.
that
So, yeah.
Sakura.
I mean, yeah.
It's possible that Sakura does feel that they're more or less in the same position, being, a assistant to a supernatural that is working to grant their wish. And in that sense, yeah, they are in the same position. But no, Eleanor, she did meet Tsukasa through a wish, but Tsukasa found her as a god, apparently, who
She was
desperately wanted a wish granted.
kind of exaggerating when she said that her and Nene are in the same position. Because,
Exaggerating.
no. Yeah.
Hyperbole? Stretching the truth.
Yes, basically.
And maybe that's why she thought it was better for Nini to just be left in the um picture perfect world.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll have to reread that to really think about it too hard,
Yeah.
though. It's been too long. My memory on it is
Really is.
weak.
Mm-hmm. But to continue with this,
Yeah, this is just an aside in this chapter. Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
legit nothing. So casual.
unfortunately,
two, two
unfortunately.
panels, Samiri mentions it.
I'm sure we're going to get more into it though.
I want to know why Samiri knows. Because, like, it doesn't seem like Sakura told her, but she's like, she assigned you to be one of those seven mystery guys, didn't she? Like, how do you know that?
Yeah,
Why do you know
what?
that? What?
What? She's
She
just a
confuses me.
Yorishiro. Why would she? Why should she know that?
Maybe as a Yorishiro, she knows that.
Maybe.
But I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Yeah. So she explains to number six that his last job is to destroy her, his Yorishiro. And Nene is the only one who can do that, but Nene be Nene, she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to destroy a Yorishiro in the form of a human. Or she wants to delay doing that or find some other way around that.
and then there's just number six, who's being totally number six. Like, yeah, if you say so,
Yep,
if that's my
that's a
job,
number
I
I
six
do
guess that's
moment.
really
what I'm
like
totally.
him.
That's a number six moment. It's like Samari's like you have to persuade her, And it's just like, yep, okay. And she says he hasn't changed a bit. And they go off to search for Nene. They walk around the town, which seems to be the town after Sh- Samiri got sacrificed. It seems to be the state of the town after Samiri got sacrificed.
And
I don't know if that's
none of the others are there. Potentially because
yeah.
number six is there. Hard to tell. Everything's falling apart. It makes sense. The boundary is literally falling apart right now. Still, it's
True.
halted,
Hmm.
but yeah, it makes sense that there's no one there right now.
Yeah, even their slippers are there, so it's like they just up and left, or they just disappeared.
I
Who
think they
knows?
just disappeared. They vanished into smoke. They became stone statues. Let them remain as such for all of eternity. Those freaking villagers.
Oh yeah, we don't like the villagers. I forgot.
No,
Oh
no, we
no, we
hate the
really don't. We
villagers.
absolutely hate the villagers.
The villagers are literally the worst villains in this entire
They are.
manga.
Yeah,
They
true.
are. I don't even worse than Teru.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. What?
And that is recorded for all of eternity.
Yes.
I will never forget that you said that. The next time you're hating on Teru, I will be like, but the villagers, though.
But yeah, Sumeri's kind of reminiscing about her past and how number six used to stand up for her, but really and truly she didn't need standing up for because she would just bully the crap out of the kids who bully her anyways.
I love how twisted they made Samire in these, like, little
Oh,
flashbacks.
oh my
Especially with
gosh.
the other kids. It's like, oh yeah, you used to protect me from these boys that were bullying me. And he's like, well, if I didn't, you would have beat them up even worse. What was it? Shoving them into the manure. Like, oh my
So
goodness.
funny.
What a menace that child was.
Oh my gosh. You know, not a lot had happened in this chapter story-wise, but it really wasn't
Yeah.
boring in my opinion. It was really funny.
It is. Oh, absolutely. I
Hmm.
loved seeing
Yeah.
their little flashback moments. Samira just being all starry eyed, like, oh, you remember when? And number six being like, remember that one time where you broke things? Yeah, I remember that. Like,
I'm like
Yeah, and she's just like,
surprised.
why can't you be a little bit more sentimental? Oh my
I'm
god.
so surprised by
so
the
funny.
amount of people that I saw saying that they don't like these two characters.
I don't
Like, they're
understand.
so
They're so funny.
entertaining.
Especially, number six, especially, is like fascinating here because this is honestly the most emotion we've ever seen him show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I know he was capable of it, like when he was interacting with Aoi. We definitely saw like him freaking out there, but
Mhm.
we never saw it to this extent,
Like,
to
he
be honest.
actually smiled here.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Like, he's smiling as he's thinking about those times where Samiri broke everything. Like,
And it's very all googly eyed. But my life is so tragic. I was fated to become a sacrifice. I'm just a pretty girl. And he's like,
Oh
you're
my
just
god.
utterly shameless.
Romantic or
Oh
not, their dynamic is amazing.
my. Samiri is not innocent. She is
She's
not.
not.
Like,
Oh
she
no.
is a victim, but she doesn't really act like it. Like, she is not victimized, this
Oh no.
girl. She's a
She does
victim,
not
but
let
she's not
herself.
victimized.
She
She's
doesn't
like,
let herself be victimized.
Oh,
oh,
yeah, I think
quite the
that's the most
girl.
important thing.
Mhm.
She doesn't let it get to her at all.
Somehow, I don't know how, she's just like made the best of her situation at every
I know,
turn, and she
right?
has such a great time doing it. She's quite
And
impressive.
yeah, and I don't think she minds going. I think she's had enough, to be honest, of living.
Of existing? Living,
Yeah, of
Yeah.
existing?
existing.
Of
She's
dying
definitely had enough.
continuously.
Yeah,
That
basically.
probably gets
She
exhausting.
wants to die for real. Like she just wants
But in the
to go.
meantime, she's having a blast teasing her husband here.
Hmm. But then it starts to rain, and they find a shelter somewhere. And she wonders if Nene is okay, and I'm wondering if Nene is okay.
She's in a
Literally.
village. She's fine.
Yeah.
What?
There's
But
there's
she's
like empty
alone.
houses all around. There's no one
Nene
there.
Nene doesn't stay alone for very long. She's
Okay,
probably
you
going to
know
run into
what? She's
someone.
probably running into trouble, but it's Nene. She'll be okay.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
She'll be
If she's
okay.
not a fish. If she's not a fish.
Oh, you know what?
Just
I
saying.
kind of want her to be a fish. I think that would be pretty funny right now.
That would.
Got caught out in the rain, turned into a fish, and now she's just flopping in a puddle somewhere. And you know what? We'll come back to her later, like after she's defishified and the rain has stopped, and she's just like wiping the scales off, like thinking back to it with a deadpan face, like, oh,
And then she
why?
runs into Katakuri.
Why would he
Just
be
saying.
here?
Maybe here.
I don't know. Maybe he's there. Who knows?
The hopium. Or copium. More
Oh,
like.
I don't even know at this point what to call that. Delusion?
That's definitely copium.
copium. I don't have anything. I don't care if Katakuri shows up, but
Why would
it
you
just
think
seems
he would show
fitting.
up?
Maybe he'd show.
You know what? Maybe. I'm not going to rule it out. The Ida Iro tend to surprise me, so maybe he'll show
True.
up. As
Yeah,
much as
maybe.
I
I mean,
doubt
he
it.
showed up the last time. When things were just going really bad, he showed up.
Yeah, but like it made sense for him to be there, sort
Yeah, 'cause
of.
that's where he was.
Which is where he
But isn't
was.
this the place that's under the house, though?
No,
And
it is not. This is number six's boundary.
Yeah,
it's
different.
number 60's boundary. Okay.
Anyways,
Hmm. But yeah, number 6 thinks about Ko, and he says he's a high-spirited boy. Pretty annoying though. Well, no, Ko wasn't that annoying this chapter. Not mean this arc. He wasn't as annoying in this arc at all.
he hasn't been annoying. Well, I never thought of him as annoying at
I
all,
mean,
but he most certainly has not been annoying
Nah,
this
there's some
arc.
moments when he's been annoying.
No,
There were.
I love him always.
But he's, your typical shonen character. He's just a representation of typical shonen character.
He is, yeah.
Probably why I find him annoying sometimes, but he's pretty good. He's MVP this arc.
He is.
yes,
No taking that away from
absolutely.
him.
Oh yeah.
Very good boy. But I love the way number six is thinking about him here. He's like, obviously no ill will at all. He's just thinking back on this kid and doesn't seem to think anything bad about him, really. Like, it's totally number six to just mention him being annoying, but like he seems to like really be fascinated by Ko's mindset. Like that got to him.
Hmm.
And it's kind of so sweet that that's what got to him. Like, Ko really is MVP here. Like,
Yeah.
he's the one who got to number six.
Actually.
Somehow.
Yeah, it's probably just the contrast with him and number 6. Number 6 doesn't really have many desires. and many strong desires either. So,
And, Ko wants everything. He wants to make everyone happy.
mm, like saying if only I had that spirit, then maybe he could have, and that probably means that maybe he could have stopped them from, um, killing Sumeri back in the past.
Or, like, doing anything at all, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she asked him if he's filled with regret for back then. And although we know, I know, and you know the answer to that, he just doesn't know what he's feeling or how to put a word to it. He even asked if that's what she really thinks. Do you think it's regret?
Three panels. There are 3 panels of him just thinking about
Thinking.
that.
Oh my god, you could make that a meme.
That would make
That's
him.
so-
That would be an amazing meme.
This reminds me of the like meme with like all the equations.
Yeah, definitely.
Number 6 meme.
Honestly.
Someone make it happen, please.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to like color this. Somebody needs to color this and like just make it happen.
Oh yes, colored too. Oh, that would be amazing.
You really think so? But yeah. Um, he says, I suppose you're always like that, which is true. Then he looks over at Samari. She's drying her hair.
Very
And
pretty. I'll give it to
Very,
you.
very pretty.
That's
in
a
this scene.
good drawing. Oh my gosh.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And he reaches over her to her, pulls her hair back. He asks her, probably in a very country voice, will you give yourself to me? And
You didn't say it with the country accent, Kathy.
I would have cringed. I would have cringed if he did.
What's the difference between the DBS translation
Huh.
and the
I'll
rest of
take you right here.
in DBS, he's just like, I'm gonna take you right now. And then, but then in Ropes of Fate, he actually asks.
This, like, they just jumped right past the, shy first kiss phase. He's just, I'll
Really?
take you right here. I'm like, whoa, whoa.
I mean, maybe I should have read that one. But anyways,
That was like, yeah, I think that's what caught me off guard initially by that. I was like, I'm not used to that
these
sort of
different
thing right
translations
away.
are so annoying. These different translations are so annoying because I don't know what to think.
I love it. I
don't
think
know
it's
which
so
one
much
to
fun.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, he looks completely serious, and she asks him, take me as a wife?" I was wondering what she was wondering what he was up to, and she's wondering if he's joking because he can't make a fool out of her. I don't know if you remember back in like, I don't know.
He was joking
Um,
last time. Yeah,
Yeah, he was completely He was joking last. Maybe he wasn't.
he was. He wasn't in the mood, really.
True. And then he reaches over, and he kisses her. And yeah, chapter ends. He says he's serious this time, completely.
I mean, like, they're not gonna show that, right? It's not that kind of manga we're dealing with here, right?
Nah, they're not gonna show anything.
I'm just like, I'm wondering if they're actually gonna go through with it though. If it's gonna pick up with them, talking more, or if we're just gonna like jump to after. Like jump to Nene, and then it's like she finds them, and it's like, what's going on? And then Smuri's just blushing happily. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they plan to handle that.
I don't
It'd be
know.
really funny if they just gloss over it.
It would be. I would.
I think they're going to just gloss over it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna become a joke.
That'll be good though. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that in the future if that's what they decide to do.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all remember that one time that TBHK was secretly etchy?
Secretly.
Not so secretly.
On the down low.
Ambiguously etchy.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in a cave. Rain is falling. I mean, everything is pretty much set, but Nene is probably going to burst around the corner.
That'd be really funny if she just interrupts.
Yes, scaly and all, almost turned into a fish.
It'll be really funny. I don't think she's gonna interrupt because that's like that's a bit too much for this manga.
Oh
But
no, like before anything happens.
I would love a fanfic of that
That would be
happening. That would be so funny. I would read that fan fiction for sure.
Oh yes. That'd be
But we
hilarious.
already had a moment like that though. That was when Hanako and Nene was on the rooftop, and then Ko came bursting in.
Okay, yeah, just another way to parallel them then.
That would be, but that's different. She kissed him on the cheek, and
Yeah.
that's all that happened. That's fair.
Very different.
And also, he burst in after it happened.
When Tara interrupted Akane, yeah.
That too. Like, they
every
really
couple
like
beats
those
he interrupted.
interruptions. Actually, now that I think about it, I guess I wouldn't be all that surprised if these two got interrupted then, because it seems to be a
It's
trend.
their turn. It's
Nah,
their
it's
turn.
their turn, and then we'll get Aoi and Akane. It will be their turn afterwards, and then we'll probably get Teruin himself because he's just lonely.
He's just lonely.
This really
Yeah, Teruin's
is.
just lonely.
This is the arc of making things canon, isn't it?
It is.
Like
love
all
it
the
so
ships are becoming canon right now. And like it feels like it's
maybe.
been over a long time, but it really hasn't. It's just been the past few chapters.
Yeah, and
And
since
Mitsuko next.
Natsuhiko appeared,
Mitsuko next, Eleanor.
yes, Natsuhiko is in the area, right? So Natsuhiko means that Mitsuba's in the area and Ko is also in the area, right? So something is gonna,
Dude, people
you
were
know,
so
2 + 2
mad.
= 4.
If they actually decide to make Mitsuko canon, I will just like I will fall over onto my face.
Actually, people were so mad that number 6 and Sumire got a kiss before Mitsuko. Like, so angry.
That one is
Seething.
Like it's like everybody has a ghost boyfriend. Oh my gosh, except for me, I can't.
It's really funny.
TBH Gay, the manga about people getting ghost boyfriends.
Actually, you get a ghost boyfriend. You get a ghost boyfriend. Everyone gets a ghost boyfriend.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. Okay, well, we reached the end of the chapter, so anyone who wants to ask a question, fire away in general discussion, or raise your hand and come speak to us and ask a question out loud. Or if you just have comments, anything on your mind, really, just hop over into general discussion and let us know what you're thinking, and we will continue before more people get ghost boyfriends. Kathy, do you have a question? Get your ghost boyfriends here.
Go is in need of one.
It would be really cool if they did make it. What do you think the odds are that Mitsuko would end up canon?
I don't think it's gonna
I'd-
be canon. I think it's always
Yeah.
gonna be like a background kind of like jokey, kind of like tongue-in-cheek kind of thing, where they're like referencing it a lot, but it never becomes canon.
Yeah, I'm not really expecting it to ever actually become canon.
Same.
It's really
Like-
sad, but true.
Yeah.
hmm
Nobody
They're
have
definitely more on the friends side.
nobody have questions they want to ask? I know this was one of those chapters that was a bit lackluster for people.
Yeah, it was. There isn't really much to talk about other than the Sakura thing.
Yeah, we need
Like,
more info on
literally.
that.
We can circle back around to the Sakura thing. Do any of us have questions about that we want to talk about?
I haven't even really been thinking about it because I just want more info on it, and I feel like it's just a setup. So
I do want more info. Kathy, you talked before about there being separate gods, like that there are more than one god. You remember that? I don't remember the
remember
point
that.
very well because you explained it in a really long way. But
Long is the word you use. Okay.
long. Within the context of that theory, which god would Sakura be?
Both.
Wait, but then there's not two of them.
I no. Sakura would probably be the Seven Mysteries God. But you know, the theory kind of just breaks down. Sakura is probably just both of them.
The theory
But
broke down the moment
I'm just thinking,
Sakura was implied to be God.
but I'm thinking, who who is the god that Hanako is Tsukasa referring to Sakura as a god?
Maybe.
Now, when Tsukasa was young, he called the creature on this house a god, and Hanako called that creature on the house a god as well. They both know what they were talking about when they said god, but there's also this other god who makes the seven mysteries, who assigns them to their seats that they work for. But that's pretty much what I was getting at. That's why I think that there are two gods, but the god that's on the house isn't necessarily a god. It's just something that Hanako and Tsukasa understands to be a god, and that god can also grant wishes.
I don't think the
That's
god associated with the house is Sakura
No, yeah.
no.
within the
So
context of that theory.
so it doesn't have to be a god. It can even be a monster. It's just not human.
So
It's a
yeah,
supernatural.
Emu, the two gods theory there that Cappy's talking about is that there are, like, when they talk about God, there are two different entities. One of them's associated with the Red House, and the other one is associated with the Seven Mysteries, basically, right?
Yeah.
Did I get
So
that?
you got it. You got it. But I'm wondering, when Hanako and Sakura met most recently, which god were they talking about? Were they talking about the god on the house? Or were they talking about Sakura? I don't think they were talking about Sakura.
I don't think they were talking about Sakura because Sakura is the one who wants a wish granted.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a few questions coming up now. Clove is like, if Sakura is God, how did Tsukasa come to be her master? That's a big question. My general like theory is that, well, Tsukasa's whole thing is that he grants wishes for other supernaturals. And if within the two gods theory there, if Tsukasa is associated with the god of the Red House, then it would make sense that he has the power to grant the wish of another god, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I guess that's how that could have happened. Of course, it still begs the question of how they came into contact in the first place, and I really want to know what that story is.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see it.
Eleanor's also asking if Sakura's God, and what does that make Natsuhiko?
He's even more suspicious now.
I know, right? What is Natsuhiko? He's implied that he isn't a supernatural or living or the dead because he implied that he would still be around if all of them ceased to be, which makes me think that maybe Natsuhiko is also a god.
They're all gods.
Natsuhiko is the Red House god.
Broadcasting through all gods.
All gods. We just introduced
god
gods
trio.
into this mix, and now everyone is a god. You can be a god, and you can be a god, and you can be a god.
Just giving out ghost boyfriends and god status like candy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't think Natsuhiko's a god though. He's probably
I He's suspicious though. He's definitely some sort of powerful entity.
He's something different, something that we haven't identified yet.
Yeah.
something that maybe even Sakura doesn't know what he is. Because she's like, "Are you dumb? You're going to disappear too." But she doesn't write him off when he implies that maybe not. He needs to be here.
Yeah. Eleanor saying that I've always seen Natsuhiko as a comedic relief type character, so the possibility of him being God / a main villain is so funny. It's true, but he was written specifically to be like suspicious, but
That's the kind of
still
thing-
the comic relief enough that if he ever does become a villain, people are going to be surprised.
I can
It's-
really see Ida Iro doing that. That's like That sounds very them.
Yeah, I like if this were any other manga, I don't think I ever would have been suspicious of Natsuhiko. If it was someone else writing it,
Definitely.
I would just be like, "Oh, there's nothing going on there." But because it's Ida Iro, I'm suspicious.
I've been suspicious of him from the start.
Yeah.
And he's probably self-serving plus Sakura. Like he doesn't have any ulterior motives. Well, he probably does have an ulterior motive, but it's nothing righteous.
And Akane pointing out that like whether Natsuhiko thinks of Sakura as a normal person or if he knows that she isn't a normal person makes a huge difference as to how sus he is.
True.
I'm sure he knows. He
Yeah,
must
he
know.
Yeah.
definitely knows.
Natsuhiko is like always like, oh, he knows more than he lets on kind of person.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Like he's always been an odd one, a very odd character that just like you don't know what's going on in his head and you can tell that you don't know what's going on in his head.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder why he wanted to catch number 6. If number 6 works for Sakura.
Well, because Sakura's getting rid of the Yoroshiros. He needed number 6 to go back to Sumire. Yes, thank you.
Maybe number 6 maybe just didn't get the memo.
Oh, we have the meme. We have the number 6 meme that I was asking for. I love it.
Beautiful.
That is what I wanted. My evening has been made. This
That's
chapter is the best chapter officially.
Absolutely. I don't care what anyone else says.
This is what did it specifically. Anyways, what were we talking about? Natsuhiko. Natsuhiko is sus. The end.
Yes, that's Sasuhiko.
Sasuhiko, oh my god.
But yeah, gosh, that group, that threesome is just getting scarier with every passing chapter, aren't they?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it.
Like Tsukasa was always scary. That's just Tsukasa for you. But now Sakura is scary.
Yeah,
if
I
she's like
definitely
really a
underestimated
god.
Sakura.
Really hiding her power level.
Like I was
underestimated Sakura.
Oh yeah, I always saw
Yeah,
her
but
as
we all
being
did.
like subservient to Tsukasa, but in a way that like she didn't really like it. She just did what he wanted because she had to. That's how I felt about
Maybe-
Sakura, but like not now. Now it's like she's in
Doesn't that
charge. This
Kind
is
of
her
explain
wish.
her power that when she, spreading rumors and changing the narrative of supernaturals.
It does. Yeah, it would explain her power. It also means that they were really functioning under a misconception there from the start, weren't they? With the whole idea that there had to be another wonder who had a human contracted to them.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, the Akane saying maybe she has a big something to gain from helping Tsukasa. Yeah, we don't know exactly what her wish is. I'm really, other than wanting to go outside. Clearly her wish is to go outside. She is trapped in the school, we're assuming. She didn't really specify, did she?
That's true.
But yeah, we're
Why do you
assuming.
think she's trapped?
Well, if she's a god, then maybe she's just bound to the location. Like the Red House god is bound to that location.
Oh, true. That makes sense.
Hmm.
Maybe different gods have specific locations they're bound to.
Yeah. So it's possible she just can't, like, she actually can't leave, that she's.
And since she seems to like have control over the Seven Wonders, it would make sense if she was bound to the school that they have dominion over.
She's bound to the location, and the Seven Wonders are the seals. And she needs to get rid of the Seven Wonders in order to become unsealed from that location. Huh.
Maybe.
There's a thought.
That would make a lot
That's
of
not
sense.
Yeah, theory, running theory. I'll hold on to it. It might be decent. It might be a legit one. I'll pin it.
I'm just trying to
But doesn't
come
that
up-
just take the whole world with her? It takes the whole world with her, though.
It does. She can't actually go through with it. We can't destroy the world. Eleanor saying all this because Nene wanted a boyfriend. Yep. Basically.
started.
Once upon a time, Nene wanted Teru to be her boyfriend.
Once upon a time. How things have
Once
changed.
upon a time in a
Things
land
have
far away.
changed.
Actually, because we're in the boundary right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes me sad knowing that we'd never go back to the same school setting again. It makes me kind of sad.
It does, like,
Yeah.
kind of a sad, kind of nostalgic wisp kind of thing going on there.
I kind of liked some of the wacky school shenanigans.
The school
Yeah.
shenanigans were fun, and I do miss them sometimes, even though having fun with what we are given. Even with
Yeah,
a chapter
true.
like this that so many people hate, we get a glorious number 6 meme out of it.
Yeah, and it was just generally funny all around.
It was.
Like, the comedy is amazing this chapter.
All around funny, lore bomb, no, a lore nuke that just like destroyed everything I thought I
It
knew.
was a mini nuke. We need the bigger one,
Yeah, we're
You
please.
ready
want
for
a
the
bigger
bigger one.
nuke? Okay.
Yes.
Because that was very, like, casual and small compared to the importance of the information.
Quokka being, so it's Teru's fault. I knew it. Yes, everything that has happened is technically Teru's fault.
Yep.
If we want to
He's the
look at it that
catalyst.
way.
Yes, because he just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sorry.
not why, but sure.
Yeah, but having a funny chapter with a big info drop is fun. Yeah, you're right. Red
Yeah.
flag. It's just the way they did it was great.
It's like,
Yeah.
hello, are you guys just going to brush this off? Like,
I
Well, the
can't
chapter
believe
kinda
how
did.
many people skipped over that. Like it wasn't like
I totally believe it. The chapter literally just glazed over it, so of
yeah,
course a lot of people did.
yeah, so many people were just like I paused on it. Like even when it was the Raws and I couldn't read it, I paused on it because something about it was like, what are they saying? What is that? That looks weird. And then someone mentioned that it's like word on the street is that Sakura is the one who appoints the Seven Wonders, and I'm like, what is going on? Like,
But yeah, I get why most people missed it though.
yeah, he was saying the stuff with number 6 and Samiri is sweet, but it's still holding a melancholic tone. Yeah, yeah, there's still a lot
yeah,
of
it is.
But
They're
like
melancholy
still
to it.
kind
everything
of
in this
working
series.
towards. They're still kind of working towards destroying Samari.
Look, they're
That's
making
exactly what they're working towards.
all the ships canon, but they're not setting up a happy ending for any of the ships.
Oh no,
None
yeah.
of them.
None of them.
All of them are currently in jeopardy right now.
Yeah, like there
Nene
nothing
is
is
about to
safe.
die.
Mhm.
Nene is about to die. Aoi's about to die.
Why are so many people
Mary's
about to
about to
die?
die.
Barrett's about to die.
Why is it always the girl that's about to die?
Yeah, right.
They all have ghost boyfriends, and all the
Alright.
girls are about to
Akane
die.
is alive. Technically. Akane, you get to die, and you get to die, and you get to die.
You get a supernatural boyfriend and then you get to die.
Ah. Just handing out supernatural boyfriends, handing out god titles, handing out death, like
It comes with the caveat of having to die.
it's in the fine print of the contract.
It's in the fine print.
Okay.
No one ever reads it.
Oh yeah.
I swear. If I watched the first episode of TVHK and somebody told me it'd end up like this, I just wouldn't believe them at all.
Butterfly! Emu, you're wondering about butterfly imagery? I know this one! Butterflies relate to the human soul. They're a symbol of human souls. I knew that one because of my 86 analysis. Haha.
I was like, what? The butterfly symbolism seems familiar, but what was the last thing I watched that had that? Oh yeah.
Yeah, Akane, here they mean a bad word. What? Yeah, within Japan, butterflies are associated with the human soul. I think in a lot of places, butterflies are associated with the human soul.
Yeah,
Around here
I see that
too,
pretty often.
it's just a less commonly known thing. I think in Japan it's more closely related to moths, the human soul, but butterflies are like a more generic one.
Oh my god, I'm thinking of Senora.
Bring Kenshin into this podcast
like,
all of a
I
sudden.
I was like trying to think of other like times I've seen that in media, and my brain just went to that.
It comes up a lot. It's not an uncommon motif.
Yeah.
But I guess within the context of the chapter, that is pretty freaky. I don't think TBHK has used butterflies before.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Sakura. What does Sakura
What
mean
was
again?
it? On the back of volume 14, Akane holding Aoi, there's butterflies, moths surrounding them. Okay, so it has been used before, just
Yeah, just
rarely.
not. Yeah, pretty rarely.
What does Sakura stand for again?
It's literally a cherry blossom. Sakura.
No. What does it mean?
What does it
Like
mean?
flower language.
Like a short life.
Short life.
If I'm remembering
Oh,
correctly, it's like a brief but bright lifespan.
Oh,
A sudden
yeah.
death. They're usually related to sudden death.
I don't know
yeah.
how that relates to Sakura.
I I wonder how her role relates to the number in her name, because she has 7 in her name,
She does have 7 in her
and
name,
that
and that was definitely intentional. Yeah.
yeah, because like yeah, the other characters have numbers in their name are intentional too.
I still haven't ruled out the idea that Sakura was the original number 7.
Yeah, that is something that I'm like leaning on even more now.
I mean, that would explain why she was trapped in the school.
Hmm.
If she was the original Hanako. That would be really interesting. Yeah, I'd be interested to
Yeah,
know that
but I
story.
wouldn't know where to go with that theory, to be honest.
I'm still wondering why Nene has 8 in her name.
Right. I
I
forgot that that
Yeah,
was a thing.
right?
I mean, not ruling out possibility of that becoming a thing either, but at this point it doesn't
At
seem
this
like
point,
the end
nah.
game will involve the 7 mysteries sticking around.
Yeah. But I'm wondering what that's gonna mean, because it has to mean something.
Yeah, they wouldn't just throw that in there for the heck of
Oh
it.
yeah, no, because like yeah, with the other names it means something.
You
So
mean
it's
like
gotta.
the metal thing that they used to have indoors?
The what?
The key.
Oh, that thing.
Mhm.
Ah, that thing. Yeah, that
Yes.
also needs to come back at some point.
Yeah,
Don't,
I still believe.
don't.
I believe. I
I
have
don't
not
think the
given up
key
on
means
it.
anything, and I don't mean Nene having 8 in her name means a thing.
No,
That's just my hot take.
Okay,
and you know
maybe
what?
it
It's
won't come
going to
back,
become
but
relevant in the same chapter, and then we are going to laugh, and I'll be like,
yes,
don't you remember that one time that you thought it meant nothing? Caffey?
Edit Euro doesn't do things on accident. Especially
Please,
not the
guys.
things that they've done not on accident for other characters.
Oh yeah, Kaiju, those are definitely moths on the back there. Human souls. Why are they bringing human souls into this all of a sudden?
I know, right? No one there's a human.
It
Like
makes me
barely.
nervous.
Yeah.
Hungry eat soul. Oh my gosh. Uh, all right. If anyone has more questions, go ahead and throw them into general discussion right now because we are wrapping up, I think,
Yeah,
more or less.
for the most part.
We answered no questions, really.
Yeah, kind of hard.
Oh, 94 is
I'm
going to be an early chapter, but
Oh
like
yeah, I almost forgot.
it does make me think something big is going to happen, or at least it would if it weren't for the fact that the last 2 chapters before this one were both early. So it just feels
Hmm.
like something that's been happening a lot.
Yeah.
Isn't chapter 71 an early chapter?
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah, that one was an early chapter, which is why early chapters have made us nervous ever since, but I don't think any of the early chapters since 71 has been a huge one.
True.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's just becoming more frequent for them to be early in general.
Does Sakura need food to
Omniplayer, was
survive
I
or
supposed
no?
to read the thing in a country accent if it was number 6? Yes. The
Yeah.
rule is you have
No.
to read it in a country
Yes,
accent if number 6 is
No.
the one talking.
No, thank
he
you.
has a country accent.
No,
Like,
thank you.
like I love his
If
character even
he
more
has a
now,
country
and like,
accent, shouldn't Samari have a country accent as well?
Yes, technically she should.
But she doesn't.
But there's a reason why they translate it that way. It's because he definitely has an accent in Japanese.
He does. He has a dialect for sure.
Hmm.
Well, I don't care.
So even in the original Japanese, he has an accent where Sumire
I
doesn't.
should have made him French or something. God, I give him a Spanish accent or
Maybe
something.
Samiri does speak with a bit of a dialect, but like
Maybe, but it's
number
not
6
enough
is
to
way
like
stronger because he's from a
that.
time further back.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense actually. No, no, this makes sense.
Yeah. Everyone trying to talk in the country accent in the type uh, in the discussion. That's funny.
Yeah, Sakura. We've seen Sakura eat before. She drank the tea at the tea party.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Did
to
I miss a
answer
question?
Akane's question, I'm sorry. To answer Akane's
Oh,
question,
I see. Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
I missed this question. Where is it? Does Sakura need food to survive? We have seen her drink tea, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she did drink tea.
She did. We don't know if she needs to, though. That's a different question. It's probably not one they're going to address, though. I don't imagine that
Yeah,
yeah,
being.
I don't gods need like
I think we
food.
just assume that she doesn't need it.
Yeah,
I doubt it's going to become relevant. I don't think her and
and if
Nene are
that's the
going to be
case,
trapped indefinitely in a place where there is no food or water, and she's going to be like, oh yeah, I don't need that stuff. Imagine if that tea is human souls.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. And that's why all the human souls. That's the butterflies right there.
It's the tea. They're in the tea.
yeah,
Yeah.
still wondering what number one is doing.
Number one's Yorishiro. Yeah, we still have no
Yeah.
idea what it is. We don't even know if it's just like one Yorishiro or if there's one for each of them. If there's three, like, no
And
idea what's going on there.
I'm still wondering if they're actually going to end up taking all the Yorishiras because it seems to be one of those typical things that they do in shows or movies where they collect something or they
Collect the
remove
Dragon
something.
Balls.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if they're actually going to end up collecting, I mean, removing all the Yorishiras or or not.
I'm
Or if they're
kind
just
of
going to
rooting
fail.
for them to do it. Is it weird that I just want them to do it? I really just want to know what'll happen.
Yeah, I want to see what happens. I'm so curious.
I really just want to know.
But at this point, they're all the villains.
And I
I don't want
know
it to happen.
I know that all the Yoroshiros being removed also means losing characters that I love, because, like, Sumire's gonna be gone if that happens, Kasa's probably gonna be gone if that happens, but,
Yep.
like, I still want to know. I'll be happy if they could just explain what would happen. You know, maybe it'll almost happen. It could almost happen just enough that we know what would happen and then doesn't happen. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah, I'd be okay with that too. I just want to know what would happen.
Yeah. I just want my questions answered. Come on, Ida
Please,
Hero. All I
please,
want is for
just
my
for once.
questions to answer.
Actually, you have to give them credit where credit is due. They've been answering a lot of our questions lately, but the questions are just leading to more questions.
But yeah, it'll be nice once this chapter is in an official volume to get like an official translation. That'll be
True.
great.
Yes, yeah.
I really want to know, not just for what number 6 is saying to Samire,
Yeah,
but mostly
that
because
too.
of what they're saying about Sakura. I want the official translation for that. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Any other questions, guys? Anything at all? While we wait for people to think about that, predictions for the next chapter?
So
Yeah.
this was part one of Dawn, quote unquote, but I'm hoping we're gonna see Nene in the Boundary next chapter and what she's been up to.
Nene and the Boundary. I'm thinking, in part, it's gonna be Sumerian number 6, and in part, we're gonna go to Nene.
Yes, that would make the most sense.
That's what I'm expecting. Kathy?
I'm thinking we're done with these people. We're going to go back to Nania and then we're going to go back to Ko or Sakura.
Ko or Sakura? I don't expect Sakura immediately.
Yeah, no.
I do want Ko back. My little MVP boy. I want
Where
him
Ko's
back.
next.
Is he okay?
Mitsuko is next. Mitsuko is next.
Yes, we need Mitsuba next. That would be
Yeah,
crazy
or
skipping
Mitsuko
to
is turned to
Mitsuba.
get a ghost boyfriend.
I
Exactly.
mean, I don't know if you guys remember, but Teru is on the ground, Aoi's on the ground, uh,
Yes, we remember.
Akan is on the ground.
Everyone died.
Look,
Yeah.
I just passed out from lack of oxygen. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Akane will probably be fine. I think he got knocked out normally. And Teru, yeah.
He'll be fine.
Man.
Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. So, Aoi and Akane will awake, and he'll see Aoi in his lap just like this, just like what happened at the beginning of the chapter. And they'll, probably have a moment, so we'll get their moment there. And then Teru would wake up after they got their moment now, because, there's kind of an overused trope where, yeah, he can't interrupt them this time.
Mia, the
So they
key
will
will
get their
save them
moment.
all. I'm calling it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen for sure. All hail the key.
Yes. Praise be.
The next chapter, just 50 frames of staring at the key doing absolutely nothing.
Yes. Perfect. Just the key drawn from like different angles.
Oh, yeah. That would be a lot of fun. I love that just keeps coming up, even though...
Oh my god, like the key, like the last time we saw it was in the Tea Party arc.
Now that's a character we haven't seen in a long time.
My favorite
guys-
character.
You guys made the Kia character, okay?
Okay.
You guys
By the
made
end of this
Kia
manga,
character.
we're gonna have like a full personality for it. And we'll have like
Yeah.
artwork for it. We'll have little emojis. We should have emojis for it in this server.
You're right.
Why don't we? Key fanfiction.
Ikun.
The keys in his training arc.
Yeah,
Let
we
me
haven't
know.
seen it.
Oh my god. Gonna come through and save the day.
Well, you know what? That's my prediction now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
think
going to
we're- I
have
think
to
we're
edit
completely
so much into this.
Oh no, that's right. I forgot.
It's okay. It's okay. It'll be fun. I'm fine with it.
Alright.
Just shipping the key with the brush from the picture perfect
Oh my God.
arc.
Guys, please.
Yes!
What?
Death ship!
What is this cat? Please.
You know, we're making all the ships canon. Might as well make that one
Yes.
canon too.
Finally, a ship that doesn't involve a ghost boyfriend.
Yeah, probably. Wait, which one's the boyfriend in that ship?
Neither.
The
I'm
key,
seeing
everyone
the
is
key, I'm seeing
saying.
the brush, I'm seeing the key.
Both.
No.
Mia. Okay, I'm
Both
okay
and
with that
neither.
too.
I think both and neither at the same time.
Both and neither. I'm okay with
Alright.
that.
Yeah. Both and either. No
All right.
problem.
So now that we have determined that the next chapter will be 100% about the key, I think we can wrap things up.
Kikun and Brush Chan's romance.
And Brush Chan's romance, yes.
Yes.
How did it get to this?
I almost spit my tea out.
You know what? This is just how our podcasts go, okay? This is
We went,
normal.
like, an extra like over 10 minutes talking about a key and a brush having a romantic relationship.
That's TBHK for you, and that's Little Jabaka Talks for you. So,
Yes.
So yeah, let's wrap up on that. I'm calling it. I'm calling it.
Yes.
It's the
This
end of the
chapter was so
podcast.
short. This chapter was so short, but we still managed to go on. Oh, that's crazy.
We always manage to do that.
Of
Okay.
course, yeah.
Next month is an early month. Yes, it is coming out on the 16th, right? It's the 16th in
16th for
Japan.
Japan, so 15th for most people.
So 15th for most people. Look out for the Raws in the server. I'll send out an announcement at the start of the day to remind people that that's happening. I usually do. And we'll be back here to chat about it.
Always.
Thank you
Or maybe we'll
guys
talk
for
about it next
joining
week.
us. And
Hopefully, Brush-chan and Key-chan are canon by then.
yes,
Yes.
by then it will become canon. Thanks, guys, for joining. And we will see you next time.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.